Hello, we're talking with Josh Farris today. He's a sub two student and a Gator, and we're going to talk about how he got involved with the sub two system and Gator, and see what deals he's into. How you doing, Josh?
Pretty good. How about you, Steve?
Great. Just getting out there and trying to find some deals. You know what I mean? So, how did
I
you
hear you.
first get involved with sub two?
Yeah, so back in 2020, I was doing some Amazon stuff. That was kind of winding down, or I saw the writing on the wall for what I was doing. I was doing some retail drop shipping. Anyone that sees this will maybe know about that, but they definitely were kind of putting the squash on that. So I was looking at getting more into real estate full time, and I ran across uh, actually Jamil Damji's Blue Genie commercials on Facebook, and I wound up actually joining his program first, and then I found out about all of Pace's stuff, and I was like, oh man, I gotta get on the creative side because the cash side's great, but I also really wanted to learn the creative stuff, and it just seemed he was doing all these long zooms and like 16-hour zooms and 24-hour zooms, and it seemed like a pretty good way to buy real estate, taking over stuff subject to, and so that's kind of what I wanted to learn, and that's how I got started with Pace and Sub 2.
Yeah. So, how many deals have you done?
Yeah, I'm up to about for the I don't know, counting the most recent, I'm up to about 60. Originally, I had about 54, and then we just did like six or so that we're doing wraps on or have wrapped creatively. Most of my stuff is like long term hold stuff that I did Burr with, but as of the end of last year, 2022, 2022, started doing the creative stuff where we're like buying stuff subject to, and then owner financing it to people, or like holding it as a long term rental. But I'm focused more on the owner finance, either wraps or contract for deed type exits right now. So
Yeah, so you're uh, basically buy it uh, sub two and then leasing it out to a buyer to, for 1 or 2 years till they can actually buy it from you, right? Is that how that works?
yeah, I mean, I don't do that's an option. I don't really deal with like the lease option portion. It's more
Yeah,
of a long term thing. Get folks in there that may not otherwise qualify with the bank, to give them an opportunity to own a house and start building appreciation stuff. Obviously, the downside is, I lose that upside, but giving it to someone else and then making a little bit off the spread between the lower, the mortgage in place and what they're paying is kind of the model there. And I do it more for that purpose, and you know, having someone get in there and actually make the payments that are actually going towards paying down the loan versus just a rent payment. So,
yeah,
uh, yeah, that's what I'm focused on with the wraps. So,
yeah. So
yeah,
you still get the equity and the depreciation on the property,
yeah.
right?
If it's contract for deed, so long as you're not selling it, from my understanding, I'm no CPA, but um, as far as like the contract for deed stuff, if the deed doesn't transfer, then you can still depreciate the asset. But if you're selling it to an entity and they're depreciating it, then only one person can take the depreciation at once, from my
Yeah,
understanding. So
right. That's
typically,
true.
typically we're doing it for a home buyer, and then just taking the depreciation all along the way, and then when they actually cash it out, I'll have to either recapture the depreciation or like do a 1031 or something like that into the next property, deal with it then. So
Yeah,
that's what I'm looking at doing for now
yeah.
with the depreciation side.
And now, do you have any new deals going on?
Currently working on one with I partnered with a guy named Kaushik Reddy. He's in sub two as well now. He just joined. He was in Gator. I was looking for like private money or private money partner for a deal that I had purchased off of another substitute student named Isaac Faulkner, I think, or I don't know, Facher, I think. So
Yeah.
he sold one in a small town in North Carolina to me, and Kaushik actually provided the funding for that deal that we're going to be wrapping. And it's basically a thing where he brought the entry, he's getting all the money back from the person who brings the down payment who's going to live there. And then we're going to chop up the cash flow 50-50 on that one. And then any equity that is built in between the underlying mortgage and the buyer's mortgage, if they refinance later, then we'll split that equity when they refinance. And if not, we'll just collect cash flow for 30 years or so.
That sounds like a pretty
that's the
good
play
deal
on
either
that.
way. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we're actually doing another one out in Colorado Springs, buying from another student named Nick. It's going to be a townhouse. It's a low equity situation, but with a rate being, I think it's like a 2.5% rate. If we sell for like 8%, then there's going to be a nice gap in there to, be able to make some money and put someone in there that may not otherwise be able to buy a house out there. So,
right.
It's, that's kind of the play on those. But that's all I'm
so
working on right now.
Yeah.
Looking at other deals and.
Now, have you gotten into the pad split at all?
Yeah, so me and another substitute student teamed up for a property in Vegas. I think he found that deal, and then I wound up coming in as an entry partner on that, and then we're doing 50-50. That was my introduction into the pad split world, and it was originally a 5-bed, 3-bath, and he had it converted into an 8-bed, 3-bath, throwing up a couple walls. And then we learned about why you don't want to do a pad split in an HOA. So we're dealing with that. And, it's been okay so far. It's kind of been, everything that you do in the business, I think in any business, has a learning curve. So, we're in that learning curve mode. And, it's just once you get more of an understanding and get more of a process going, I think the next one it's easier and easier and easier. And that's what I've noticed. Like, with all the sub 2 stuff I've done so far, it's like the first one was like, conceptually, I got it. Like, I was studying stuff for like over a year, of how it's supposed to go. But it's like Pace says, the stuff is interesting until it's important, then you have to go back and actually like relearn and know it and let it all soak in. So, but yeah, we're in that thing, and, people are moving in, moving out, but, he actually toured it last week and said that everything's being kept up well by the tenants and stuff, and everything's clean, and no real big issues.
So the HMO,
so far so good, and we're definitely looking to do more of those.
Yeah, the HMO was giving you a hard time about it at first, or they're allowing it, or they don't know.
We found a workaround. How about that? For now, we'll see how it goes.
Do what you got to do, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're in it now. I mean, we took someone's mortgage and HELOC over, so, closed on the property, and that's basically the exit we were looking at. Obviously, if they're not allowing pad split, they're not going to be allowing Airbnb, so we can't Airbnb it either.
Yeah.
But there might be an opportunity for like midterm rental or something. But with it having so many rooms now, it's kind of like the perfect thing for pad split. So.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah.
And it would cost money if you had to. They stopped it. You'd have to convert it back into.
Yeah. If we had to throw down the walls and refinish and.
Yeah.
But it wasn't bad, actually. I was surprised. It was like $3,500 to throw up walls and get it painted and everything by a couple of local contractors there. So,
wasn't too bad. Not bad. Yeah. So
versus some of the costs that I've heard people spending.
Yeah. Well, you don't go out of your way, right? Yeah. And they all.
But yeah, that's what I got for now. Just focusing on more wrap deals, trying to do stuff a little more local in Panama City, Florida here, and the pad split stuff for targeting like traveling nurses and military families and stuff, or individual military folks, because obviously pad split doesn't work for families. It's an individual person in each room. So
Yeah, if they're coming
Yeah,
for a training on a air base, then they need a room. I could see that
that's
might
right.
work. That sounds like a pretty good way of cash flowing. Um,
Yeah.
how much do they usually get per room?
So the ones that we have in Vegas are 175 a week, and then the master is like 190 a week. So it's almost 800 a month for the master, and a little less for the individual rooms.
Yeah,
Obviously, the master gets their own bathroom, so that
right.
helps. But right now, it's about there, and I think we're a little under market for like the quality of the house versus what
Yeah,
the other stuff I've seen on Pad Split. So I think we're just trying to keep it full and do that thing and see how it goes
yeah.
and kind of go from there. I don't know, in other areas, I think it's a little more. I mean, you can't go
Yeah,
like in the middle of the Midwest where you can rent a whole house for like $700 and get $700 a month for a room. I don't think.
yeah,
Uh, but
yeah. But yeah, it
you
definitely
know,
has to be a metro area, and then.
yeah,
But yeah, that's pretty good. 8 rooms, so just saying $200 a month. That's 200 bucks a week. hundred
yeah,
and fifty
200
bucks a
pretty
week
much.
even.
Yeah,
It's
I forget what it's supposed. I think at full capacity, it's supposed to do like 7 grand a month or something like that, and then I forget what the debt service on it is, like 3 grand or something. So
yeah. So
it was
yeah,
kind of up there. So we needed something more than like a long term rental situation for
right.
that
Yeah,
particular house.
yeah. You weren't going to
But
pull
yeah,
in. Yeah, you probably would have just covered the mortgage with just a rental.
yeah, if that. So,
Yeah, especially with
but this
the.
way, I think we're going to do the cost seg, and it was a good amount for the purchase price, and so it should be worth doing like a cost seg and splitting that up, and hopefully everything works out with the HOA and kind of fly under the radar. I mean, that's the thing. I can see why HOAs don't want Airbnbs in their neighborhoods because,
Yeah,
obviously high turnover, people are getting rowdy sometimes. But,
yeah,
with the pad split stuff, it's like, you know, everybody like goes in, they just need a place to like lay their head and watch TV when they're
yeah,
not working, basically. And,
yeah. And most of the
you
people
know,
are professionals like nurses and doctors, and they're not there
yeah.
to
Or, I
they're
mean,
not there to party.
they just, yeah, they're definitely not there to party.
Yeah,
No one really knows each other in the house, so it's not like they're going out back and making a bunch of noise or causing a
yeah,
bunch of issues. So I don't think we'll have any problems on that aspect. It's just they just don't like, I don't know, they want to have families in the neighborhood, and I can see that,
right.
but it's
Like
causing a ruckus.
rentals in the first place, though.
Yeah, some of them just don't allow rentals, but that one wasn't. I don't know. I guess we needed to comb through the CCNRs a little bit better, but I think their CCNRs were like I don't know, a couple hundred pages, so
Yeah,
it's kind of tough. Kind of tough to review in like a week
yeah,
on top of everything else we're doing. So, but it's all good. It'll work out.
yeah. All right. Well, I want to thank you for your time today, Josh, and we'll be getting together to do some deals pretty soon. All right.
That's right. Sounds good, Steve.
All
Thanks for
right. You
having
have
me.
a good day.
You
Bye.
too. See ya.